Piglins are a very nice new addition to Minecraft 1.16. And with the addition of Piglins, we got Piglin bartering, meaning that we can now get a lot of resources that we couldn't get before through a very easily renewable way. And that is Piglin bartering, because you can just automatically throw gold at them and collect a lot, and I mean a lot of loot. The loot you see in here is about half an hour's worth of just having this machine run. Obviously, some of them give more than others because stacks and unstackable items, and you can just pause the video and check out what I've gotten in about half an hour. I'm going to go over how to build one of these cells. As you can see, they are very easily expandable. They actually fit very nicely right next to each other as well. So you can very easily build this into a wall. I did a little bit of decoration with stairs here to make it a little bit more fancy, so that you can see it doesn't have to look very ugly. You can actually just build this into your base and have this running while you're working on other projects. Because it is not the fastest yielding farm. It yields a lot of items, but it goes through gold like fairly slowly. Because as you can see here, it's about halfway through the gold in like half an hour, maybe 45 minutes. So it doesn't go through that quickly. Then again, if you have this much gold, you probably want to put this at your gold farm, I want to say. You can't automatically put the gold nuggets into ingots into here, so you'll have to do that manually. Maybe with like a minecart track or something, you can figure that out on your own. So let's go over the requirements you need for making this. You need some building blocks. I like to use a little bit of stained glass, any kind of stained glass. With the style I'm going for here, I think black works the best because it blends in with the black stone very well, but you don't even need a transparent block. You can make it fully out of freaking obsidian if you wanted to. But I'm going to go with these. Obviously, you need some piglins. I'm in creative mode, so I'm going to use a spawn egg, but it's very easy to get them in there because you just throw in some gold and they'll just run in there and then you can seal them in. You need a redstone comparator, one redstone torch, 2 hoppers, at least. We're going to go for like a basic build here, but for every double chest you want to add for storage purposes afterwards, you need 1 more hopper, and at least 3 chests. Again, for every double chest you'll need more chests, obviously. A dropper and some gold to fuel the machine itself. So let's get started here. I'll build it away a little bit from the other so that you can see it in isolation by placing down the double chest. This is going to be an output chest. Again, you can build as many output chests as you want. Just add in more chests and hoppers like I have done here. It's not that difficult. And you're going to place a hopper to the back of it. And on top of that, you're going to place your other chest. This one is actually fairly important because if you throw a chest right into a hopper right into the chest without a in-between chest, sometimes the comparator does not get triggered. So you do actually need this chest. On top of that, well, on the back of that, I should say, you place your other hopper. This is going to be where you have your holding cell. So you build your holding cell fairly easily. It's just a 2-high wall all around. And you're going to break the back block because that is where your dropper is going to be. Did I say hopper before? It's a dropper. And it's really that easy. Now you place in a piglin. It has to be an adult. With a spawn egg, that's a chance. If you're just looking in survival mode, you're probably going to get an adult anyway. You probably want them to have armor. This one has naturally spawning armor. You can also use a name tag if you want to name him to make sure he doesn't despawn. For the purpose of this, I think he shouldn't despawn. I don't know if naturally occurring armor actually prevents them from despawning. Worst case scenario, they do trade you a lot of boots very easily, so you can just like get boots from the trades and throw them at them, and they should put them on, except that the hopper picks it up. So what you want to do there is you want to block the hopper for a moment so that it doesn't pick up the item, throw in the boots, watch them put them on, and pick up your redstone torch again. Now, the interesting part here becomes getting output from the hopper. You want to have the hopper, the piglin is standing on to give you an output. So you're going to put a comparator right here, And you're going to run that comparator into a block with a redstone torch on top, and on top of that redstone torch, you're going to put another block. And this is the entire circuit. You do want to block this off to make sure that the gold ingots are actually being thrown into the holding cell and not over it. Sometimes that can happen. And then you just put in a lot of gold, and you reset it by placing a block back on here. You can also do a button to get it kickstarted, but just like that, you throw a gold, he checks it out, he throws it down, and once this hopper becomes empty, it will send a redstone pulse to the dropper to drop the next piece of gold. That way, it will never drop a piece of gold until the trade you're doing at the moment is completed. Meaning that you'll never have any wasted gold get funneled into this chest over here. And this kind of farm can get you a lot of good items. For instance, it gets you a lot of spectral arrows, which means that you pretty much don't need an infinity bow anymore, and you can get a bow with mending on it instead. And if you have a really good bow, you'd probably rather have mending than infinity on it. Because you have functionally infinite arrows, and better arrows as well, because they're spectral arrows, not normal arrows. You get iron nuggets, meaning that you don't really need an iron farm anymore, probably, because you can just get it through here, especially if you link it up to a gold farm. You just throw in some gold every now and then, you AFK. It is, of course, less efficient than an actual iron farm, but it's also lots easier to construct, because you don't have to move around villages and all that kind of stuff. You can just make this instead. You get iron boots, which probably not that useful, but maybe early game, having infinite iron boots can be useful. It's still useful for disenchanting and getting yourself experience. Soul speed books, same thing. You get lots of ender pearls. This is the easiest way to automate getting ender pearls, by far. It makes getting ender pearls very trivial. Of course, you have enderman farms in the end itself. You have villager trading as well, but villager trading is only semi-automatic. I mean, you can make a trading hall, but you still have to manually do the trading. Here, you get them automatically. Same with fire resistance potions, you get more than you know what to do with. Sometimes they do throw in gold and they don't pick it up themselves. That is not because the machine doesn't work. Sometimes you can actually just get gold from a Piglin trade. It's kind of stupid, but it does occasionally happen. It's very rare. Let's see if it happened any more than it already did. They might have patched that out, and that might have just been me throwing in some gold, honestly. But I do recall getting gold from a trade with a Piglin. So those are the most useful items. You also get like string, so you can make wool out of this. You get a lot of leather, which is good for making books, I guess. I would very much recommend hooking this up to a sorting system instead, because there are so many different kind of things. And you could, if you aren't like looking to get experience, you could just trash the iron boots and the enchanted books. You could sort out your ender pearls and the crying obsidian, the normal obsidian, the arrows, that kind of stuff, and get rid of the gravel, maybe even get rid of the nether brick, soul sand. Nobody needs that kind of stuff. And you, of course, get lots and lots of quartz as well. Well, it's a fairly low percent drop, but it's a very easy way to passively get quartz, because previously the only way to get it was mining. Now you can actually automate getting it to a certain extent. So there's a lot of things that you can get out of this farm, and I would recommend, if you have a nether base, that's one very important thing. You do need to build this in the nether, because if you bring these into the overworld, if you haven't changed your game rules, they will be turned into zombie piglins, and they don't trade anymore. So if you have a nether base, build one of these into one of your walls, because it's literally just changing gold, which isn't really that useful to begin with. I mean, you can make golden apples and golden carrots out of gold, but you don't need that many of them. And if you have a lot of gold laying around, this is a real good use for it. Again, especially if you are building this close to a gold farm, you just pick up a lot of gold nuggets, turn them into ingots, throw them into one of these. You probably don't even need this many of them, because you probably don't have that much gold. But if you do, it's very much easily expendable, because it fits within a repeatable pattern. So this is a Piglin trading farm station wall family thing. Next time we'll be looking at a different farm. I have not decided which one yet, but it's a very easy design, and I recommend everybody puts it in their world at least somewhere. Until the next time, don't forget to leave a like, comment and subscribe to my channel if you have enjoyed this video and you found it helpful. Hopefully you did. Next time, I'll be back with something new. Bye.